title of the message this morning is A Cry for Justice, reclaiming the beauty of Jesus as judge. When we see these levels of suffering and pain in the earth, something inside of us cries out. Something inside of us says there has to be a response to this level of suffering that we're seeing. We can suffer when we know there's a certain cause, but when suffering and pain touches the human heart and there's seemingly no storyline and no response, hopelessness comes into our hearts and numbness takes over in our hearts. My own life, I was born in Medellin, Colombia. As a little girl, I grew up surrounded by the different dynamics of poverty. Beyond even the externals of what was going on was an internal reality of sexual abuse. Not only did I suffer sexual abuse, but it was at the hands of a minister. And so I was in this crisis of faith related to actually being abused throughout the week and then hearing that same person preaching on that next Sunday. And I said two things to God. Number one, you have to show me without a shadow of a doubt that you're real. And then I said, number two, I have to know that you can do something about this pain. In Exodus chapter 2, verse 23 and 24, the people of Israel are enslaved in Egypt. Then the children of Israel groaned because of the bondage. And they cried out, and their cry came up to God. God heard their groaning, and God remembered. Every cry goes somewhere. God didn't just say, I hear their cry. He actually released deliverance to them through Moses, his messenger. I know who Jesus is, that when I see the pain and suffering that takes place in the world or in my own life, I know the one who will make the wrong things right. There are many Shelley Hundleys in this room right now, those that have gone through the kind of abuse and despair and torment that I've gone through. We have to have an answer. We have to have an answer when we see the pain and suffering that is taking place in the world. Jesus, the righteous judge, the ultimate judge of all humanity, the one before whom all will give an account. Jesus Christ is our righteous judge. My life was transformed by the revelation of a judge who looks at me and says, Shelley Hundley, you're worth fighting for, and I will make it right. Isaiah 63, it's this image that Isaiah the prophet is caught up in this vision of Jesus. He sees Jesus as this one who's coming up victorious from Edom, which is the nation that has come against Israel. And he's got these garments. They're stained with blood. Isaiah the prophet cries out and he says, who is this whose garments are stained red? And he goes into this description. And he says, who is this one? He's striding in this powerful, mighty stride. When Jesus comes back, he is coming back, not riding a donkey. He is coming back victorious as the righteous judge, as the lion. Isaiah says, why? Why this demonstration as judge? Why this fierce countenance as judge? That's something different that I've never even seen before. And Jesus answers with this phrase. He says, the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed has come. Beloved, our God is a God of love, but he is not a weak God. He is a God of love, but he doesn't sweep offenses under the rug. He will take an account for every single thing. I'm telling you, it has unlocked forgiveness in my heart to a whole nother level. Jesus Christ looks at me and says, Shelley, you can forget what happened because I never will. Until I knew the fierceness in the heart of God over the issue of sin, over the issues of abuse that I had gone through in my life, until I knew that, I could never fully hand my case to him and walk away. Jeremiah 23 says this, when you water down the word of the Lord and you strengthen the hands of the wicked, saying, it doesn't matter, good or bad. None of it matters. Sweep it under the rug. It's not significant. Get over it. There's really no right and wrong. Jeremiah 23 says this, it makes the people worthless. You are worth fighting for. I have a God who fights for me. You are worth fighting for. Jesus is the righteous judge. The day of vengeance is in his heart for his bride. And the most fierce passages about God as judge in the whole word of God are always in the context of him saying, in essence, you touched my bride? Wait a minute here. You touched my bride. That reality changed everything in my heart.